Hello, hello there. It's Julia Mazur with Simply She Stamps, and it's time for our virtual celebration class for 2024. I'm just going to pull up my event here so I can see comments and all that kind of fun stuff. We're going to go through the celebration brochure page by page, and I have almost a sample for every offering. And if you are watching me live at 10 a.m. on Saturday the 6th, feel free to comment and I will try to, let's see here, answer your question. I'm just trying to get the comments in. And maybe you are watching the replay. Hi, Sue. How are you? I see I got one person watching live. Like I said, I'm just trying to pull up this video. There we go. Okay, now I see my comments and everything. I think I'm all set here. I got my drawers for each offering, and hopefully this will go smoothly and we'll be done in about an hour, maybe even less. So I am going to first tell you that we have the celebration, which started on January 4th, and we also have a new mini catalog which started January 4th, and this goes through April. You can see these online on my Stampin' Up! Website, which is jmazur.stampinup.net. You can always find me on Facebook or on Instagram or YouTube at Simply She Stamps. The January host code is right here, which is QSDBAUA2. And what I do with the host code is if you place an online order with me and use the host code, I use any kind of hostess benefits, host rewards to get supplies for my Craft for a Cause events. And our next Craft for a Cause is Valentine's for Vets on February 3rd. And that's going to be held at the Grant Township. So anyhow, I am using some products from in here. And like I said, I have hopefully just about everyone a sample from each one. Oh, I see Auntie Ellen's on here too. So exciting. So glad you guys could join me live. All right, so let's get started. There's, when you shop and you spend $50 or $100, you can choose a celebration offering. Our first few are all free with a $50 purchase, okay? So I'm trying to also give you some ideas of what to purchase so you can get the free offering. So we're going to start with watercolor melon. If anybody knows me or has followed me for a while, you know that I love the look of watercolor. So let me grab some of the supplies here. I have some samples and I'm going to stamp just a little bit. Now I want to pull this back up. You know, people say, oh, I'm not creative. Well, you know what? Copy and selectively edit or share. So I just took this one, which is the sample in the brochure. I didn't have all of these supplies, so I swapped out some things. This is my sample, and I pulled in the Sweet Cherries stamp set, which is in the annual catalog, because we have this nice big sweet, and I just kind of followed this. And what I love about this watercolor melon is it coordinates with one of my favorite punches, was with the modern oval punch. So you'll see, let's see, do I have I do. So sorry, I'm a little discombobulated here. So I was stamping a whole bunch of these to decide what color I wanted. This one is Shaded Spruce from the sample. But I really wanted to use Garden Green, and I love how that Garden Green turned out. Okay, and you may notice that my stamps are clear. These are our photopolymer stamps. And actually, someone's calling. I am just going to take a piece of Whisper Basic White, and I'm going to grab my Garden Green. Of course, I put it back. It should be in here. But it's not. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh my goodness. We'll get the hang of this. Thanks for your patience. Okay. So photopolymer is all set and ready to go. And you put it on your acrylic block and you just stamp it like that. It dries pretty quickly, not instantly, but pretty quickly. Okay, and with these cards, I use the Poppy Parade Garden Green, and the card I'm going to show you is using Blueberry Bushel. Okay, and this is probably dry by now. I'm going to take the Modern Oval Punch. Let's make sure I'm on screen here. And you just line it up like that. You flip it over. Hi, Judy. And you punch it out like that. So that's what's so nice about it. And with these other ones, I didn't have it. There we go. You stamp them and you punch it out, and then you can just cut right there, and that gives you these cute little watermelon slices. Okay, so I paired this up with the Swedish cherries. I used the crosshatch embossing folder. I swapped that out for this one, which is an online exclusive, and that is available only online on the website. Where's my Just Because? Here we go. I stamped my Just Because from my Softly Said. This is also an online exclusive. I thought this paired nicely with the watercolor melon stamp set because it has that watercolor look. So I have a piece of garden green right here, and this paper, I just wanted to add a little bit of paper. This comes from the Regal's 6x6 Designer Series paper. This is in the annual catalog. Again, just nice paper with patterns in case you don't have a cut and emboss and embossing folders, and it just adds a little something to your card. So my card is pretty simple here because I'm a simple stamper. I'm just going to adhere that down right there. I stamped the Just Because. Actually, I think I stamped this in Pretty Peacock. Well, first I stamped it in Real Red or Poppy, but I decided I liked the Pretty Peacock. Okay, and what I've done here is I have I already pre-punched these. I actually cut this one out by hand. I fussy cut. You'll see us doing that a little bit later. And I am just going to put some of these down here. And I'm going to use some dimensionals. These are the little pop dots. Oops, got a whole bunch of things that just popped up. Hopefully the feed is going to be going well today. I did have some issues with my connectivity earlier, so hopefully we don't have that issue. We're going to go like that. Okay, Just Because. So this is a very, very simple card. It goes great through the mail. These are 2 samples. I have a few more samples. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. See, I needed to pull this out. That's okay. First card, warming up. This one is very similar. I stamped the background with the whole watermelon. Again, use that paper, added some of this poppy ribbon. This is in the mini catalog. It is part of the Be Mine suite. So I love the Poppy Parade. That's my favorite red. Okay. And then this other one I made is a fun fold. Okay, and it's pulled this sentiment from the Swedish cherries and stamped this and cut it out with my scissors. Again, use that Designer Series paper. Those are like the basics from the annual catalog. And then this is how it pops up. So it's kind of like an easel card. And I will put the dimensions on for that. Really, you cut your, I don't have my cardstock cut. You cut your cardstock, and then you put the sides down with the adhesive, and then you put a little popped up part, and so that holds it. So this is just a nice little thank you card for someone, and then they can leave it on their desk just like that. So again, this is where I use the navy ink. Okay, so that is our watercolor melon samples. Hope you like those. I'm gonna put them back in my drawer to kind of stay organized here. Otherwise, it just might get kind of crazy. All right. Number 2. Oh, let me put these in the drawer as well. You know, I got all organized, so I would stay organized. Okay, Sunny Days Designer Series paper. Again, I love Designer Series paper. It does the work for you so many times. I have a couple different samples here. This one you may have seen on my Facebook page or my Instagram. I used just the papers and I cut them out. Also used the fun lightning and stars. This is in the mini catalog. And let me show you the papers here, okay? So these come in 12 by 12, but I cut them down for ease of showing, and that's kind of what I do with my 12 by 12 paper to get started and to cut it efficiently, if you will. So I usually cut them in 4-inch slices because they fit nicely on a card, and then you can cut them up. So we have some fruits and flowers, rainbows, and clouds. Let's see, do I have them all? I feel like I'm missing some. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, we're good. Okay, so that's the A side, if you will, and flip them over and you have the B side. And I just love these bright colors, and they're just fun. So I made this fun card. I use another one of my favorite punches, which I got 3 punches on my desktop today. The 2 3/8 inch punch is a great punch to kind of anchor your images down or add backgrounds. So the suns are punched out from this paper with the 2 3/8 inch punch, and this is in the annual catalog. You probably will see a lot of my projects with that circle punch. Okay, and then I think I can't remember if this was a make and take with the party pack, if anyone's stamping along. So I have a cardstock base, which is basic gray, and then I cut a whole bunch of pieces. They're at 3 inches by 1 inch, okay? And this is just a great way to use your Designer Series paper. If there's so many papers that you love and you can't decide, this is a great card map, if you will, template. And I have a sample made with them cut at a different width, so you'll have to tell me which one you like better. So I'm just going to lay these down. I am using my Stampin' Seal, but you could use any adhesive of your choice. And I'm going to start on one end, and then I'm going to kind of lay them out. That's going to be the other end. I want to make sure that I have enough space. That's going to go like that. Oh, I think I changed out the colors. That's why I'm all messed up here. Actually, this one I was going to do straight. Hold on. Hold that thought. Because, you know, sometimes I can't decide. So I make them both ways and ask your opinion. So this one I'm going to make straight. The other one I kind of made them crooked on purpose. And hopefully these line up. And if not, there we go. Okay, they will. So again, love this easy card. You can even make them off-center, not necessarily crooked. I'm gonna flip this one over. There we go. And I got some, there we go. Then I'll just pop this one. I didn't press it down all the way, so that's why I'm able to kind of lift it up. Oh, I'm moving around. And then I used the Happy Labels stamp set and the coordinating Happy Labels Pick-a-Punch. You make little strips, and I have a box of strips when I cut my cardstock down for the inside. So like here is my inside piece that is 4 by 5 1/4, and when you cut the inside strips, you're left with, you know, various pieces, usually a 1/2 inch strip of half-inch strip that you can use for sentiment. So I do have a little box on my desk that has that. That's where I get these strips, okay? And I stamped the thank you and used the punch to get the edges like that. And I'm just going to use some dimensionals to pop this little washi tape, faux washi tape. And I'm gonna put it right there, okay? So very pretty, just like this, very easy to mail. I'm actually gonna throw in some of these tinsel gems. I'm going to use the green, which is Pretty Peacock, but it matches just fine, coordinates just fine with this paper. So I love these tinsel gems. They're just so pretty. I'm using these today on some various projects. I'm going to grab my U-Pick tool because it's got the little sticky. And I'm going to just grab 3 of these, and I'm going to put one here, one there, and another little one. I'm going to go up there. Okay, so I don't know if you can see the fun little gems. So that is our Sunny Days Designer Series paper. And here is the one that I was talking about that's crooked on purpose. I made them a little wider. They're 1 1/4 by 3 inches, and you kind of layer them like that. Another little You Are My Happy Place. I think this one's a 1/2 inch, and this one might be 3/4 inch to fit the happy labels. Okay, I love this paper because I just love the bright colors. I like it on the dark background because I feel like they just pop. So those are the 3 samples for the Sunny Days Designer Series paper. Okay, moving right along. So we're not on here too long today because we've just got 2 done. Okay, next one up. Where did there it is. Pardon me. I had my thing taped down so it wouldn't move so much, but it is moving a bit. All right, next up we have more Designer Series paper, the Flight and Airy, and it is really just so beautiful for the springtime. I have a few samples and a make and take. So if you have gotten the make and take pack, you can pull out those items to make the card. First, let me show you the paper. So there's 6 sheets and they're double-sided, so that's how that goes. These birds are so beautiful, and they're pretty easy to fussy cut, if you will, so we cut them out. Here's another sheet that has the birds on one side and the flowers on the other. Again, this comes in 12 by 12, but I've cut it down to show you. This is the other page. Here's the other one. I love the watercolor wash. Again, love watercolor. Anyone else out there love the watercoloring look? My story always goes that I've tried watercoloring on my own and I just can't get it. Doesn't work so well for me, so I just get the paper. Let the paper do the work for me. All right, so these are just so beautiful for the spring. Don't know what the weather's like by you. Might be sunny in Florida. But it was snowing here this morning, so we have some snow on the ground. Okay, let's set those aside. So let me first show you some samples I have. I just fussy cut those little birds out, and I am using this is another stamps that I'm using a lot today, the Perennial Postage. This is in the mini catalog. I love the mixed font. These are just great sentiments. And I also use, oh, I lost a sequence. Some of my favorite, I love the adhesive back sequins because they're nice and flat for mailing. So you'll see these a lot. These are in the annual catalog. Okay, so there's one sample. Here is another sample that was shared on the Demonstrator Planning Place, which is a Facebook group for us demonstrators, and Mary Ellen Stykes posted this and I just fell in love with it. It is a little fun fold, very easy, and again, just so many places to put the beautiful Designer Series paper. This I just fussy cut. I stamped this with another Sale-a-Bration item, which is the Heartfelt Hellos. We'll get to those in a minute. Again, you see my 2 3/8 circle punch here, and I'm also using the Heartfelt Hexagon punch and some of the sparkle gems, tinsel gems. I think it was the different pack. Yeah, it was the different pack that has the Misty Moonlight. So this is Misty Moonlight. The card base is boho blue. It's a beautiful color. And this is just a regular card like this, but scored at 1 1/4, so you can fold that back. And that's how you get that fun fold. Okay, so for our make and take, you have a Fresh Freesia card base. And then you have a smaller piece, some designer series paper, and a piece that was run through with an embossing folder. Embossing folder is part of the Sale-a-Bration offering. Here are my tinsel gems, and I have some ribbon as well. So I actually stamped the Happy Mother's Day. This is from the Perennial Postage, and punched it out with my modern oval punch. And we have I think this is 3 by 3. No, 2 3/4 by 3. This layer is 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. And we have our designer series paper that we're going to put at the top. And it's cut a little bit smaller, so we have a nice frame. And then this piece was run through the embossing folder. And this goes across. Hold on, there we go. And I'm lining that up to the bottom. All right. And before I put this on, I'm going to tie some ribbon. And this is Misty Moonlight ribbon, I believe, and it's in the annual catalog. I just wanted a little bit of ribbon. I'm going to tie a bow. I think I have enough cut out to tie a bow. Here's my tip for tying bows. I wrapped it around this layer, and then I have these two pieces, the tails, if you will, perpendicular. I make a nice tight part right there, and I'm going to start from the bottom, and the top one is going to go up and over the front and through. And I seem to get pretty good bows when I do that. Okay? And you sometimes just need to play around. That one was pretty good. Let me grab my nice ribbon scissors to get a nice edge on that. And right there. I think I need to put some tape to, probably got a little piece of tape right here. I'm just going to peel it up from my table there so I stop moving around. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to grab my dimensionals again, because you know what? Yes, I'm going to put these on with dimensionals in the corners there, because when I have some ribbon on the back, it tends to want to pop up. So this will just be nice and stable. And I probably should put that other piece on first, but I'm not going. I'll be okay. All right. So moving along, I'm going to take my paper snips, which were right on my table here. How could they get lost? Are they hiding? Oh my goodness. Hold on, there they are. I knew they couldn't be far. So this piece is from the designer series paper, and you know, you don't always have a full image. So I like to use as much as I can. So I'm cutting this part out. And notice I don't have the whole bird, and that's okay. And you don't have to get, you know, close to everything. You can do as much as you like. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. It might not be the neatest, but that's okay. You get the idea. And you might notice that I'm turning the paper. And a lot of these projects use fussy cutting because we have some great images on the designer series paper. Sometimes there's a coordinating stamp set, sometimes not. So there is a little bird set that goes nicely with this designer series paper. It's in the mini catalog. I think it's called Seasonal Branches. It's got branches and flowers and a little bird. But I'm just using the paper here because it's so beautifully watercolored. Okay. meant to have a lot of this already pre-cut, and then, you know, the week just got away from me. I work full-time in our family business, so sometimes I just get, my attention is drawn elsewhere and I don't get everything done that I wanted to get done. So let's go down here a little bit more. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to put him right there. And you can line up the edge. I'm going to use dimensionals because it's a little bit easier to stay on that the embossed, dry embossed right there. I don't know, should we put him all the way over or have him kind of hang off? I think I kind of like him hanging off there. All right, and we got to put our Happy Mother's Day with some more dimensionals. I'm going to stick that right there. And of course, we need some bling. I think I'm going to use my sequins for this one. And I like working in, what's it called? Odd numbers. So we're just going to add 3. Sometimes 5 looks great. And we'll just put one right there. Okay, there we go. I thought this, I really do like dark blue with the fresh freesia. That just looks really nice. Either Misty Moon, actually Misty Moonlight is my favorite with fresh freesia. So there is our cards for the Flight and Airy. What do you think? Would you make any of these? Hi, Tracy. Judy, did you get to make your make and take with the little bird here and the Mother's Day card? Okay, I love this paper. It is so beautiful for the spring. Okay, gonna put this away. I'm actually gonna grab my little vacuum. Got this little desktop vacuum. Sorry for the noise, but that way it's not, the little dimensional backings don't get in the way. All right, okay, moving on. We have Cradled in Love. It is a stamp set. And I have forgot to cut my vellum piece. I did forget to cut my vellum piece. All bad thoughts. So I stamped my cradle in Pecan Pie, which is a new color. And then I took my watercolor pencils and I colored. I love the look of the watercolor pencils, just a little bit of color. I would have stamped my rug again in the Pecan Pie before I colored it, but I didn't get a chance to do that. But I think having it all white like this makes it extra fluffy. So I am just kind of rubbing that color on. I'm not pressing too hard because I'll get lines. You might see that down here. So I'm just coloring in the fun little fluffy carpet. I colored in the moon and the star. I'm using the watercolor pencils. I think it's assortment 1. And you have 13 in here, which is just great. You'll notice I'm using these a lot today. Okay, so that was fun. I'm not even going to color in the cradle because I just, want it to be a quick card. Okay, so there are my pencils. This is boho blue. You could also use the, I was going to make another one with the, oh my gosh, Bubble Bath, which is a great pink. And I am just going to layer this. Let me get I'm going to get my 12-inch cutter here. I might take off a little bit of this. And let's see, this is 4, now it's 4 1/4. See, this is how you see how I create things. This is almost 3 1/4. And what did I say that? That was 4 1/4? Yes, so now I need 4 1/2. I might do 4 3/4. That was my scoring blade and my cutting blade. There we go. And then, what did I say? Almost 3 1/4. So 3 3/4, and now I have a nice piece to go behind, to go on my card. Oh, and I needed my, stick this down. The adhesive is not going to show because I'm going to have, I guess I'll put it, and then I'm going to use my dimensionals. I stamped on crumb cake here. And I'm going to take another little strip of my 1/2 inch. Sorry. And let's grab the pecan pie. I know I have it here. And I am going to grab Welcome Little One. There's a block. Got everything right here. Set this down. Stamp. I have a tendency for my new stamps just to stamp right on the cardstock, but I need to stamp on the scrap paper first so that it will get primed, if you will. And I'm not using any kind of edging. And then I think, actually, trim this down a little bit. And I don't even think I'm going to use a dimensional. I think I'm just going to stick it right on there. Welcome, little one. Let's trim this down a little bit more. There we go. So cute. So easy. I could add some sparkles if I wanted to, but I'm just going to leave it like that. I didn't get to play with this one as much as I wanted to, so I only have one little sample here. Thought it was a pretty quick and easy card to make. So that's Cradled in Love. All right. So moving on. Actually, let me ask a question for those who are watching. Have you gotten your little brochure? What is your favorite Sale-a-Bration offering? You know me, I love the papers. We got 2 sets of papers here. I worked a lot with the softly stippled paper. I have quite a few things for you for that. Let me pull out the paper so you can see it. I do have this little box bag made for you so you can see that. So there is a coordinating stamp set in the mini catalog for these papers. I do not have it, so that's why we are just fussy cutting our flowers here. Wild Wheat is one of my new favorite colors. Is it yellow? Is it green? It's a great neutral, actually. So these have stippled flowers. This is the A side, right? We got 3 pieces here, 6 pieces. And then the flip side, these beautiful textures. So painting and fabrics. These look like they're just photographed fabrics and different paintings. So I just love all the texture on there. So even if you're not a fan of the stipple look, these are great papers, different textures that you can use for your projects. All right, I'm going to set that up there. Here is the bag that is in the mini catalog. And this is great. This is a great size. I think it's pretty accurate for the size in series paper. And I filled this bag with little note cards. So we have note cards and envelopes. They come with the note cards and the coordinating envelope for that size. Let's see. Oh, I only have one in here. I thought I made 2 of these. Anyhow, use the paper. And again, oh, this was actually cut out with the stylish shapes. So it has a little bit of stitching there, but I just used, actually these were scraps, so they're a great size. Now the bag here, I think I have a piece cut. I do. Oh, So this is how you make this little bag. Let me do this quickly for you. I'm going to pull out my Simply scoring tool. So this piece of paper is 6 3/4 by 11. Okay, so I took my 12 by 12 and I trimmed 5 1/4 off from one side. All right, and this is where you score. All right, so I have my scoring tool here, which I use this all the time for just my cards. It's always on my desk. It works great for 3-dimensional items as well. So here I have my 11 inches. Yes, I got it nice on camera. And I'm going to score it 1 3/4. No, that's not what I wanted to score at. 1 1/2. 5 1/4. 6 3/4. And 10 1/2. Okay, and then I turned it this way and I'm scoring at 1 1/2 down here. Okay, so I think my map there has the wrong amount. All right, and then I'm going to take my foam folder. Let's make sure I do the correct one here. 1 1/2. And then 5 1/4. This was not right. 6 3/4. I can tell my bag's not right. Oh my goodness, what happened? Oh my goodness. I thought I wrote down the right amounts. Oh, Julia. Let's see here. Let's see where I messed up. Okay. I'm going to cut this little piece off. It makes it easier to make the bag. And then before I do any cutting, this is not right. Why is this not right? This is not the right score line. I must not have. Let me grab my 6 3/4. Okay, 1 1/2. 5 1/4. That's why, because I scored it on the wrong one. Probably 7 3/4. That's what I did. 6 3/4. There we go. See, good thing I didn't cut anything yet. And then 10 1/2. Oh my goodness. Okay. There we go. Now it will work. So I'm going to cut at the 1 1/2. 5 1/4, 6 3/4, and then I cut at 10 1/2, okay? And then you fold these in like that. I'm gonna put some adhesive. I gotta get my Stampin' Seal Plus. Sometimes it pulls the paper up, so you just gotta go on there carefully, okay? And I'm going to fold these up. This is where I'm going to put the adhesive. And this is, Stampin' Seal Plus is a little bit stronger. So it will hold everything together nicely. And then this part, little flap goes on the inside there. Just kind of like a, how'd they do that? How'd they make that little bag as a sample? Well, this is how they did that, okay? So here is a different color. We'll just throw that part that I kind of messed up in the back. That's okay. And this one I already pre-made. I stamped Happy Mother's Day. Again, that's from the Perennial Postage, and this was the Stylish Shapes. This is the beautiful paper there. And again, these are the edges from the 12 by 12. So see, your 12 by 12, you only got part of an image there. Don't let it go to waste. Okay, and I'm just going to use dimensionals to pop these up. I'm not even going to color them. It's just going to go on like that. You could color them. We're going to make a our next make and take, and we're gonna do some coloring. Let me see, I went like this. I think this, yep. So I pre-fussy cut these out along the edges. And that's gonna go right there. I'm lining that edge up with the edge of the tag. That's gonna go on our bag. That one I'm gonna line up on the white just because it fits a little bit better. And some more dimensionals to stick this on the bag we made. So let me, I gotta, there we go. Just like that. If you wanted to color it in, you could. Here's the coordinating note card that would go in here. This fits so nicely. This bag fits gift cards too, as well. So let me fix this. This is actually, I think this goes, it's 3 3/4, and this is, but this is really 1 1 1/2. Okay, so 1 1/2, 5 1/4, 6 3/4, and 10 1/2. And then this is, you cut, well, first you score all those and along there, and then you make 3 cuts. Okay, so that's how you make that fun little bag. I love these little bags. I've made them before, usually around the holidays, but they're great for giving note cards to people. Okay, our next card is our make and take card. So if you are following along with our make and takes, you're going to pull out the Pebbled Path card base. This is the inside of the card, that piece of basic white. And then you have 2 pieces of designer series paper and the oval, modern oval punch, and 2 pieces right here. All right, and I'm going to show you, while you pull those things out, how to fussy cut this. And then I'm going to color it. All right, I only had, this one doesn't take too long because it's so thick. Versus, you know, the little branch had these little narrow branches. This one's a bit easier to fussy cut. Let's make sure I'm on camera there. Again, it's not as perfect as it could be because of my angle here, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. Everybody's going to be looking at the color and the designer series paper, not so much the edges of your flower. All right, so there's a few different ways you can color these flowers. I'm going to opt for watercolor pencils, but you can also use our Stampin' blends. You could just use some blending brushes or sponge daubers to add a little bit of color. We're adding just a little bit of color with the watercolor pencils because it's pretty quick and easy. I am going to use the Calypso Coral because that is the color in the designer series paper. Actually, let me get the inside in here so we can just be done with that. Get that out of the way. That's the inside of our card. Because it is a dark color, we want to make sure we have the inside light enough. I am going to stamp a sentiment, and I think I'm going to, I can't thank you enough. Will that fit? Let's try. We're going to stamp that in the Pebbled Path. It's a nice dark color, but a little softer than a stark basic black. I had a different sentiment on my sample, so I hope that this one will fit. It does! Hooray! Okay, close this up so we don't get ink all over the place. I'm going to grab my Calypso Coral. That must be this one. there's my Calypso Coral. And I am going to use the paper as a guide. So you see where it's, I guess, stippled, the stippled effect, and that is where I'm going to rub the color. Now I am using a very light touch. If you used a hard touch, you get a really hard line. So I'm using a very light touch to get that color. And I am really just coloring the part that's stippled so that I have some white showing. Gives it a little highlight. And you can always go back and add some if you want. But again, the trick here with this way of coloring is to use a very, very light touch. I think I go through spurts using the watercolor pencils because, you know, I am a quick stamper. I don't spend a lot of time, but, you know, I actually did a whole bunch of this fussy cutting watching TV the other day. They were pretty easy to do while watching TV. And I do the same thing with the coloring. So I don't need any water for this. You could use the watercolors with the blending brushes or your watercolor brushes, but I do like this. It's a nice soft look. That's why I'm using the watercolor pencils on this, because this stippled effect is very soft looking. So that's why I went with the pencils there. Then I have the leaves. So I'm going to use Garden Green and Granny Apple Green, and I'm using two colors because, let's see, it's nice to get, it adds more dimension. So I'm starting with the Garden Green and kind of just doing the, I don't know, is it veining in the leaves? Okay. And so if you are doing the make-a-take along with me, you can color these however you want. If you don't have watercolor pencils, you can use some markers. So I use the Garden Green, and now I'm going to take the Granny Apple Green, and I'm kind of just, I don't know what's the word. I'm going over it so it kind of blends together. So you can make these colors. But again, nice soft touch. Otherwise you'll get some lines. And you can always go back and add more. And I am doing this kind of quickly, so you don't have to watch me too much, and we can move on to another sample. Okay. More leaves. Okay. I do have a sample that's completely colored. Okay, so you got the idea there, right? All right, so I have this piece, which is 4 by 3. I'm going to take my adhesive, and before I put that down, I have this piece. I'm actually going to cut this in half. If you have the make and take, you might have a smaller piece. I probably didn't need to cut that in half. But to conserve your paper, you can just use a little strip versus that whole piece I just used. And I'm just eyeballing it here, putting it in the middle. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let's change this. I think I'm running out of adhesive there. I'm going to put it on my card base because I wanted it to cover the whole card base. So sorry for the confusion. There we go. And I'm just eyeballing it. It doesn't have to be exact. And then this piece is going to go over, so it looks like there's that whole strip of paper. It is a little crooked, but that's okay. We will deal with it. Then I have some of the wild wheat ribbon. I need my, let me show you the trick on how to do this. I have my tearing tape. This is going to hold our ribbon to our oval. And I'm just going to go like this and stick it down so it'll be nice there. Got my ribbon scissors so I can trim these. Let's get that out of the way. And that is going to get popped up with our dimensionals. Dimensionals get thrown around on this table, and then I can't find them when it's time. I always have some extra. I'm going to put the dimensionals not on this tearing tape because then they'll kind of fall off. It doesn't want to stick there. I only need 2. That's okay. All right, and then this is going to go right here. And if you're doing the make and take, you probably have a little flower as well. I'm just going to use this one. Oh, you know what? I didn't want to use the garden green. I used the old olive for this one. Well, you'll see the difference on my other sample. Okay, and let's see. I think I'm going to do this way. There we go. Here is the sample that I made first. So you see that I used the old olive and that worked out a little bit better. It matches a little bit better with the designer series paper. And if you have a little one, you can put the little one in the corner too. I think I'm gonna play around here and move this around since I only have one. Put that up there and put that like, I think my thank you is a little crooked. There we go. Okay. So that is the softly stippled. Actually, I wanted to show you, I'm on the little bag. Again, when you don't have all of the items that they use for the specific sample, these are the iridescent pastel gems, and they're just so pretty. And so I think I'm going to use that on this card. You might have the little sequins. I'm going to add some of these. I'm going to use my U-Pick tool. A little bit easier to get those out. And put that there. And one down here. Okay. So there we go. There is the softly stippled. All right, moving on. Where are we at? I can't remember. Let's get out our... Oh, we're on the Most Adored Designer Series paper. Great Valentine paper. Let me grab my box here. Okay, let me show you the Designer Series paper. I have it in the full 12 by 12 because I didn't cut it up. Throw that down. So it's a specialty paper, which is so nice. It's got gold and it has real red and flirty flamingo, which I love that color combination. This beautiful, I don't know if you remember doing the shaving cream technique many years ago, where you put shaving cream and then the re-inkers and then put your paper down. Anybody out there remember that? This is a lot less messy. Already done for you. Okay. Excuse me. And I love plaid, so that's another reason why I love this paper. Beautiful. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I can flip them over. And you got gold on the back. So this is all the gold. Look at the shaving cream and the beautiful dainty flowers and the plaid. So great, great paper. It's not just for Valentine's Day. Now let me show you the card that I made. I didn't get to play very much with this paper. But there is a coordinating stamp set in the mini catalog, Adoring Hearts. And it also comes with dies and an embossing folder. So this is a hybrid, so it's so fun. Again, I haven't done a whole lot with it yet, so be on the lookout. Make sure you like my page at Simply She Stamps on Facebook. Simply She Stamps. That was a mouthful. Because I will be doing some videos with this. So there's so many things you can do with these hybrid. It cuts and embosses at the same time. It's a beautiful stamp set with beautiful fonts. This card is based off a card that our Demonstrator development manager, Shannon West, she works for Stampin' Up. She's the DDM for the Great Lakes region. And she shared this trifold card. I can't remember if it was just on her page or for one of our meetings, but it's so fun, a great way to showcase designer series paper. So I have an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and you mark it at 3 inches. Let's see here, let's go like this. This is how you make this card. You mark it at 3 inches and then you slice it. So you still get 2 cards from 1 sheet of cardstock, okay? And then these are how you score it. So you score it 4 1/4, 4 1/4, and then at 8. That's how I did that, I kind of play around. And then you have your designer series paper there and the different measurements, okay? So just for you, you are most loved. I thought this was a fun card to showcase the Adoring Hearts designer series, or most adored designer series paper. I just love the red and the flirty flamingo. What are your favorite color combos for Valentine's Day? Oh, I think my light died. Yep. All right, so there we go. Moving on. Okay, I have a lot of samples for this one because this is probably my favorite, the Heartfelt Hellos. And it's probably my favorite because I love punches. And this coordinates with the Heartfelt Hexagon Punch, which there is a stamp set in the mini catalog. Let's pull that out. Let's find it. It was kind of an early release, so we've had it for a while, and you probably have seen some samples with it. It's on page 12 of our mini catalog. Oh, we used it for World Card Making Day. So maybe when you joined me for that, you used it, and it's great. It's got sympathy, let's eat cake, some details, dotted details. So it's a great little bundle, and I love that you get some more sayings. I use these for so many projects today. All right, so let me show you some of these projects. And if you joined the make and take option, you have samples. You have things to make these cards. Okay, so if you are stamping along, you have a note card and you have a piece of fresh freesia cardstock. Let me grab my Highland Heather. And, sorry, I'm just pulling everything out from here. So you should have a note card and an envelope, a piece of fresh freesia, and then you probably have a piece that was punched from this fun, oh my gosh, what is this called? It's the hot air balloons, the designer series paper. Lighter than air. And it's 6 by 6, so the 6 by 6 designer series paper are so great for little cards, or I'm going to show you a cute little bag. And what I like about these is you get, I think you get like 6 or 8 sheets of each pattern. So it's great for making multiples of things. All right, let's put this back in the bag there. Okay, and you probably, if you are doing the making takes, you have a little piece like that. All right, now I love this card because it's so simple. It was shared by Elizabeth, who is another demonstrator manager at Stampin' Up, and she shared it during our convention, if you will. It was virtual. It was called On Stage, and so it was on stage at home. All right, and she showed this card, and it's so simple, but I just love it so much. So I folded my note card. I'm taking my hexagon punch, and I'm going from the top, and I'm just trying to eyeball to get it even, and I'm punching a window. So I'm going to set that aside. So now I have a little window, okay? And I have this piece already cut. I need some blocks. I'm going to use Enjoy Your Day. Let's grab this one. Alrighty. We're on an hour, so hopefully in the next 15 to 20 minutes, we'll be done with our little presentation. Okay, Enjoy Your Day. I'm inking it up in Highland Heather. There we go, nice and juicy. And I'm gonna stamp it right in the middle. Enjoy Your Day. And then I'm gonna clean this off. real quick. This is our Stampin' Scrub. Just need to get my mist. You'll notice that my stamps are red rubber this time. These are cling stamps. So the best way to clean your cling stamps is with the Stampin' Scrub. I really like the rubber. I think it stamps the best. So I wash and I dry, and because I haven't washed my scrub pads, I also, if you know they're a little dirty, I'll scrub it on my little chamois. This is the other way you can clean your stamps. It's a little chamois there. Okay, I'm gonna put this away, and I'm gonna grab the hello. There we go. Picking it up off the, let's make sure it's well inked. It is, and I'm gonna stamp this in the middle of this piece the best I can without getting my head in the way. There we go. Set that aside. This is gonna be so fun. I'm gonna close this up. Put that away. I'm actually gonna use my liquid glue here. I'm going to put a little bit of glue around this one. And whenever you got like a little window here, there's a couple different ways. You can just go like that, but I kind of go from behind there, and you can move it around to fit. That's why I don't have the adhesive all the way to the edge. Okay, so that's the inside of our card, just like that. And now I have this little piece, and it's kind of going to be a peekaboo. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive right there on either side there. And that was a little tip that Elizabeth gave us. There we go. So cute. I did get a little bit of glue. That's, you know, the nature of that liquid glue. Sometimes it gets not where it's supposed to be. That's why I have my wipes handy, so my sticky fingers don't get on everything. But isn't this just a cutest little peekaboo card? You can make a whole bunch of these and put it in that bag that I showed you. Let's dry my hands. Okay, so cute. Hello, enjoy your day. All right, so that is project number 1 for the heartfelt hellos. I have another fun project using this cute little bag. This is like a box in a bag, and I'm using the oval punch for this one, but you could use the hexagon that comes with it. And this ribbon is also a celebration offering. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Maybe too much coffee this morning, or too much talking. Here is the pool party crinkle ribbon. All right, so it's at the bottom with the Flight and Airy. Flight and Airy, where are we here? Yes, we're right here. All right, with the hexagon, heartfelt hexagon. So let me show you how I made this cute little, I don't know, it's not like a bag-a-lope, but it does fit. And let me show you that, well, it'll all fall apart. I like this because you can open and close it. So I have a 2 3/8 inch circle punch again, and I scored it at, I believe, 1/2 inch. Yes, scored it at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to fold, 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 and I'm going to cut, cut. I think I cut all of them out. Yeah. No, then it doesn't. No, that's what I do. Oh my goodness. It's been a while since I made this. This was like last week. And I'm cutting the little triangles out, so then I have all these flaps. Okay. Then I have a piece of that designer series paper. So this is great for Easter. Let me get my instructions so I can make sure I am giving you the right. Yes. Okay. That's the wrong bag. Light and Airy. Where did it go? Oh my goodness. Anyhow, I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal Plus, which I put in here. All right, and I am going to just put it on the flaps here. And I have this piece, I think it's 3 by 6, so you can make 2 bags out of 1 sheet. Yep, 3 by 6. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start in the middle of one of these flaps. Let's see, sorry, let's get further on camera. Okay. And fold it around, make sure your adhesive is just on the flap, not on the bottom. Fold it around like that. And these little bags in a box, they're so cute. You can make them different sizes. I love this little size because it's easy to use with your 6 by 6 paper. There we go. You might want to use your bone folder. Oh, I needed to put some adhesive right here too. Good thing that popped up. And you want to put some adhesive on the edge there. Okay. So it's kind of like a sour cream container if you've made those before. Kind of looks like a toilet paper roll. I am going to take my, let's see, you know what? I think I'm going to take the hexagon. Let's punch a hexagon and see which one we like better. Grab some paper. I think I got it. This will fit a whole one. Okay, and then we're gonna grab Thinking of You This Easter. And my Highland Heather. I lost that. Well, here, we'll just go like this so you get the idea. Maybe we'll go like that. And I'm grabbing a hole punch. Oh, I did put it in my, just a regular old size hole punch, and I'm going to put my tag, I'm going to put it up just a little bit, and I'm going to punch the hole through the bag and the tag. Okay, and then I have a piece of ribbon here, and I'm going to thread that from the back to the front. All right, and I'm going to tie a knot. Let's pull this a little bit better. And tie the knot. I could have made this a little bit longer. I think it's because it's so wide. It's hard to tie it, oh my goodness, with a small amount. There we go, we did it. And then I could just kind of pull the loop to tighten it. And I'm going to cut the edges. Get a nice edge there. I'm cutting on an angle. All right, so that's a cute little box. So put it at your brunch table, or if you have like an Easter tree. And what fits in there perfectly are the little mini Ghirardellis. Or if you have these little Larabars are my favorites. That fits in there. Or you can fit 2 little mini Ghirardellis, which I forgot to put in there before I tied it up. If I undo it, then my little knot's gonna come off. So I'm gonna sneak these in here. Okay, there we go. So you can, your person can undo it and then you can just tie it back up. So cute. I love these little size. And again, use the self-adhesive sequins. Those are in the main catalog, the annual catalog. So what do you think about this cute little box, starting with the circle bottom? So cute. I love these. All right, and so that is a wrap for the heartfelt hexagon. Actually, you might see a little bit more coming up. All right, the toolbox. Again, we have another make and take. Time for a make and take. You will have a Lost Lagoon piece right there. And where did I have my, well, I guess I didn't pull those out. Let me grab the paper to show you. tools for Father's Day or for your handyman. It comes in 12 by 12. This is the Sale-a-Bration. Lots of fun things to cut out. That's the same piece. This reminds me of a tool chest. That's probably why they have that there. And the ruler. I thought for sure I cut these out already, but I did not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I think there's another set of tools to cut out. We got the saw, paintbrush. Yep, there we go. Saw, paintbrush, and tools. Okay. And then on the flip side, let's get these out of the way. There's the flip side. Nuts and bolts, just grid paper, and that watercolor wash. So kind of neutral, if you will. So those are fun. All right, so let's get our stuff together. So for your make and take, you have the Lost Lagoon. You have a hexagon punched out with that paper. You have the screwdrivers and a piece of this nuts and bolts. All right, and then the tools. So I stamped the Dad, You're the Best from the Heartfelt Hexagon. And I put that on the label there, or the punched out hexagon for our sentiments. All right. I'm going to take the, oh my gosh, screwdrivers, fold my card. I'm going to put this down right here. And then I'm going to take my, oh my gosh, which way did I do this? And then I'm going to take my square piece and put that right there. And then I'm going to take my dimensionals and pop up my sentiment. Actually, I think I'll just wait. I'll just kind of play around with it because I want to quickly cut out my tools here. All right. So this is a great set of Designer Series paper. There is a coordinating stamp set and dies. So if you don't like to fussy cut and you have a cut and emboss machine, you can use the dies to cut out these images. Or if you run out of the paper, you can use the stamps and the dies to cut more images. There are some super cute projects out there. They did, Elizabeth again showed us some really cute tool chests that she made with these papers. And I don't mind fussy cutting. It is kind of like coloring with crayons or watercolor pencils, and it can be kind of mindful, if you will, or just focuses on something else and can be relaxing. Don't make the fussy cutting stressful. It's not supposed to be stressful. Crafting is not supposed to be stressful. All right, I am going to use my dimensionals, the little pieces. I'm going to put it on the wrench because there's enough space there to put dimensionals. I am going to use my glue for the pencil because there's not much space there. And I think I'll use a dimensional for my hammer because we can use the edges of the dimensionals. Don't forget, waste not, learn not. All right, move that out of the way. Yep, I'm gonna put that guy there. I don't think I had, no, I didn't want to put any ribbon because it's a Dad's Day card and I didn't want to put any ribbon. But I'm gonna take my, I guess he's going right there. Because it fell down with the glue on it. And just place these wherever you'd like. That's so funny that maybe I can move them up. cannot get some. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It all worked out. Dad, you're the best. What do you think about this quick card? You know, the hardest part is just cutting out the tools. Okay, so that is the, I lost my, there we go. That is the Trusty Toolbox Designer Series paper. Okay, moving on. I do not have any samples for the Jungle Pals, but if you do like the Jungle Pals and you like the dies, you know, the dies are what would sell out first. So all of our Stampin' Up! Celebration items are only available while supplies last. So if there's something you love, make sure you place your order soon so you can get them. Again, I don't have any samples there. The next one is the Softly Sophisticated bundle that has a matching embossing folder, which you saw me use that, and then the detailed dogwood. Okay, so I have my last two projects here. This one for the Softly Sophisticated, I'm not using the embossing folder. I'm just doing a very quick card. This is the basic white, and this piece is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, I believe. Yep. So you can get 8 pieces out of one sheet of cardstock. I am going to use Sweet Sorbet and Granny Apple Green. I had that out. There it is. Grab my stamps here. I'm going to start with the Granny Apple Green. This is a 3-color card, so I have 3 colors and then a neutral. I have the, that's not the stamps. Yep, these are the stamps that I want. These are the stamps that I wanted. I'm inking up the leaves and stems in Granny Apple Green, and they're going to go right there. Then I'm going to grab my flowers, and I'm going to ink these up in Sweet Sorbet. Those are not the big, there's the big flowers. These are the big flowers. And there's a little bud right here, and then the big flowers go there. So I'm kind of aiming for the big bud, or the little bud. Okay, there we go, just like that. And then I have the other flowers that go with different stems in this set, but I wanted to add some more color. Again, 3-color cards. So I'm just going over there in the corner. It's kind of in the background. All right, and then I have You're in My Thoughts, and I'm going to stamp that in black. So 3-color cards. Oh, see, I'm stamping on camera. Sometimes it's crooked, but that's okay. Again, don't get stressed out about crafting. It's not supposed to be stressful. Let's see. Oh, my black ink pad is in my next drawer. That's why. Okay, You're in My Thoughts. So, one reason I really like this stamp set is because you have images and sentiment. So it's really great if you're just starting out. There we go. You're in My Thoughts. Set that aside. And again, nice way to make a simple card. I'm just going to add some dimensionals. All right. I could probably add one more, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to put 3 right there. Okay. You could put some ribbon behind here or some color cardstock if you want to kind of step it up, but this is just a very, very quick card, especially, you know, if you need a sympathy card and you don't have one. It's a very quick card to just put together to send off in the mail to someone. You could add some embellishments if you were bringing it, but sometimes it's nice to just have a flat card to send in the mail. So that is the Softly Sophisticated. Again, it comes with the stamp. Sorry, I'm talking off camera, out of the microphone. It comes with the stamp set and the embossing folder. All right, so I'm so sorry. I keep talking while I'm leaning down to go to my next drawer. So the next one is the detailed dogwood. I have, it's the last drawer, so it's all the way at the bottom. Here's a detailed dogwood. I have a few samples here to show you. This is a nice soft colored one. This is just a little more bold. All right. This one, I'm going to show you how I colored it real quick. I used the very vanilla, and I stamped my dogwood, and then I used the Stitched with Whimsy. And it doesn't cut, it just adds a little bit of stitching. So I don't know if you can see that. I'll show you a little bit closer. It adds that stitching. This one, I used the coordinating dies from the perennial postage. These are perennial postage dies, and I just love the stamps and all that, so I am just in love with these dies. And that's what I used for this one. So let's grab the coloring tools. All right, and I'm gonna stamp twice to show you the different coloring methods here. And on this one, I used the new Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. This is part of the Lovely Lavender suite, and these are the iridescent gems from the annual catalog. All right, so let's start with the pecan pie. Let me grab the pecan pie. I know it's here. Okay. So again, this is the cling stamp set, and this is a large stamp, so I'm going to ink it upside down. I lay it flat on my table. Maybe you haven't noticed, but I have this new glass mat. It's our Glass Mat Studio, which you can get for free if you get your starter kit and sign up to be part of Stampin' Up. This is going to go like that. Beautiful. Once it's inked, I can it's mostly inked, so I usually just ink it up regularly. So I stamped 2 bows there with the pecan pie on the vanilla. I'm going to clean this off because then I'm going to stamp it with the Tuxedo Black Memento ink, because this card uses the Stampin' blends. So for those are alcohol-based markers, and so I need to use the Memento ink so the lines don't bleed. And I am just going to stamp this one once. I'm going to add it right there. I did not get that very well inked, but that's okay, because you can see my sample. All right, so we're going to start with this one. I used the watercolor pencils, and I used the pecan pie, the melon mambo, and the gray, basic gray, melon mambo, and pecan pie. There we go. Pecan pie, I just quickly did the branches. I won't do all of this because, you know, I'll be messy and color outside of the lines. And again, I'm just using the what Stampin' Up! Did with the stamps, and I'm using a very light touch, and it's kind of all the shadowing. And I was researching, you know, dogwood blooms are white and pink. Maybe there's other colors. So very, very light touch. And with this one, like I said, I kind of did the tips and the centers. Very, very light touch with the melon mambo. You can always go back and add. I just kind of wanted a light pink. All right. Let's see here. Let's just try to get some flowers with the leaves nearby. I use the basic gray for the middles. Again, light touch. Light touch to add that color. And then this one, here's where I use the garden green and granny apple. That's why I was a little confused and didn't use the olive the last time. So I started with the garden green, and again, used what is in the stamp, the shaded part in the middle of the stems. All right, and then I go back with my Granny Apple Green and kind of blend it all together. And again, light touch. This one doesn't, I've used a lot that it doesn't have a pointed tip, so it's easier to get that nice soft look versus the hard lines. Okay, so that's how I colored these. A nice soft look. And then I stamped the perennial postage and the pecan pie and added some pecan pie ribbon behind, and like I showed you, cut out one little flower and added that to the label. So for this one, I used the blends, and I started with the Fresh Freesia, and I'm using the dark. The blends are alcohol-based markers, and they come in a pack of 2, a light and a dark. I'm just going to use the dark, and again, starting from the bottom or the center, and I just went up towards the edges. And with this one, I'm just doing the centers. I'm leaving the tips of the flowers white. And that's how I colored these. And it was easier to kind of pull towards me. So that's why I am moving my piece around. This one, you know, I'm doing the opposite of what I just said I did. That's okay. You can always go back and add some more if you want. But it's a quick, easy way to get color. Now with the leaves, I use 2 different colors. I use the dark Pretty Peacock and the light Lost Lagoon. Sometimes when you use 2 different colors versus just the light and dark, you get more of a contrast. And I started with the Pretty Peacock, and I'm just going to add some color on the veining, kind of the middle. And I'm not going to do them all at once because I want to go back pretty quickly. And I'm going to use the brush tip with my light Lost Lagoon and kind of just rub over what I just did and fill in the rest of the leaf. So that's how you get that gradiated color. And sometimes you can get that with the same blend, like the light and dark Lost Lagoon, but sometimes it's good to just pull out different colors because it is more of a contrast. So let me do that again over here. It's right there. So, and you can always go back and add a little bit more if you want, if you need it darker. And once it dries, it kind of all blends together. But if you are using 2 different colors and you don't want such a contrast, you want to make sure you go back and fill in before that first color dries. Because since they're alcohol-based markers, it stays wet for a little bit longer and you can push that color around. So that's how I got that color. And you do want to protect your work surface because it will go through just like that. So that is how I got all those colors on there. So this was with the blends, and this one was with the watercolor pencils. All right, and you saw me, I was most of the time my stamps stamped well because I'm using my new Glass Mat Studio. This is a special for during Sale-a-Bration. If you join Stampin' Up! And get your starter kit, you get this for free, which is a $60 value. So for $99, you pick $125 worth of products of your choice, and you can get this for free, or you can get an additional $30 worth of products. So the information is on my Facebook page. Thank you so much for joining me today. So sorry for any of the mishaps that happened today. and I hope that you learned some great techniques, learned something new. If you don't have a demonstrator and you'd like to shop with me, you can go to jmazur.stampinup.net. And again, our host code for January to help with the Valentines for Vets is QSDBAUA2. Be sure to like and follow my Facebook page, and you can also find me at YouTube, and you can subscribe to my channel. Maybe you're watching on YouTube on the replay. Thank you so much for joining me not in person, live or on replay. And I hope that you can tune in the next couple months while Sale-a-Bration is going on to see my other projects that I share. Have a great day. Bye-bye.